Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Today's reciters are Sakshi Mataji in Sanskrit and Usha Mataji in English. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 23, verses 16 to 29. Sakshi Mataji, could you please start with the Om Namo Bhagavate invocation, please? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 16. Upare Yupari vinyasta nilayeshu prutak prutak क्षिप्तेः कशिपुभिः कान्तं पर्यङ्क व्यजनासनेः.
Hare Krishna. The palace looked charming with the beds, couches, fans, and seats, all separately arranged in the 7 stories.
तत्र तत्र विनिक्षिप्तं नानाशिल्पोपशोभितं महामर्कतस्थल्या जुष्टं विद्रुमवेदिभिः.
Its beauty was enhanced by artistic engraving here and there on the walls. The floor was emerald with coral daisies.
द्वासु विद्रुमदेहल्या भान्तं वज्रकपाटवत् शिखरेष्व इन्द्रनीलेषु हेमकुम्भेर अधिश्रितम्.
The palace was very beautiful, with its coral threshold at the entrance and its doors beaded with the diamond. Gold pinnacles crowned its domes of sapphire.
चक्षुमात् पद्मरागाग्रैर् वज्रभीतिषु निर्मिते जुष्टं विचित्रवेतानेर्महार्हेमतोरणैः.
With the choicest rubies set in its diamond walls, it appears as though possessed of eyes. It was furnished with wonderful canopies and greatly valuable gates of gold.
हंसपारावतवात्रेस् तत्र तत्र निकूजितं कृतिमान् मन्यमाने स्वान् अधिरूह्याधिरूह्यश्च.
Here and there in that palace were multitude of live swans and pigeons, as well as artificial swans and pigeons, so lifelike that the real swans rose above them again and again, thinking them live birds like themselves. Thus the palace vibrated with the sounds of these birds.
विहारस्थानविश्राम संवेश प्राङ्गणाजिरेः यतोपजोषं रचितेर्विष्मापानम् इवामितात्मनः.
The castle had pleasure grounds, resting chambers, bedrooms, and inner and outer yards designed with an eye to comfort. All this caused astonishment All this caused astonishment to the sage himself.
इत्रदृगं तत्पश्यन्तीं नातिप्रीतेन चेतसा सर्वभूताशयभिज्ञः प्रावोचत् कर्दर्मस्वयम्.
When he saw Dehuti looking at the gigantic opulent palace with the displeased heart, Kardam Muni could understand her feelings because he could study the heart of anyone. Thus, he personally addressed his wife as follows.
निमज्यास्मिन् हृदे भीरु विमानम् इदम् आरुह इदं शुक्लकृतं तीर्थम् आशिषां यापकं नृणाम्.
My dear Devhuti, you look very much afraid. First bathe in the lake Bindu Sarovar, created by Lord Vishnu himself, which can grant all the desire of a human beings, and then mount this airplane.
सा तद्भर्तुः समादाय वचः कुवलयेक्षणा सरजं बिभ्रति वासो वेणीभूतांशमर्दजान्.
The lotus-like Devhuti accepted the order of her husband because of her dirty dress and the locks of metal hair on her head. She did not look very attractive.
आङ्गं च मलपङ्केन सञ्छनं शबलस्तनम् आविवेश सरस्वत्याः सरः शिवजलशायम्.
Her body was coated with a thick layer of dirt, and her breasts were discolored. He dove, however, into the lake, which contained the sacred water of the Saraswati.
सान्तः सरसि वेश्मस्तः शतानि दशकन्यकः सर्वः किशोरवयसो ददर्शोत्पलगन्धयः.
In the house inside the lake, she saw 1,000 girls, all in the prime of youth and fragrant like lotuses.
तां दृष्ट्वा सहस्तोताय प्रोचुः प्राञ्जल्यस्त्रियः वयं कर्म करिस्तुभ्यं शादीनः करवां किम्.
Seeing her, themselves suddenly rose and said with folded hands, "We are your maidservants. Tell us what we can do for you."
स्थानेन तां महारेण स्नापयित्वा मनस्विनीं दुकुले निर्मले न्यूने ददूर्यस्य च मानदः.
The girls, being very respectful to Dehuti, brought her forth, and after bathing her with valuable oils and ointments, they gave her fine, new, spotless clothes to cover her body.
भूषणानि परार्ध्यानि वरीयांसि द्युमन्ति च अन्नं सर्वगुणोपेतं पानं चैवामृतास्वम्.
Then they decorated her with very excellent and valuable jewels, which shone brightly. Next, they offered her food containing all good qualities and a sweet, inviting drink called asavam.
Hare Krishna, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please forgive me if I made any mistake. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the very nice recitations, Sakshi Mataji and Usha Mataji. I'm just checking to see if Prabhuji has joined Vrindavan, Chandra Prabhuji, but looking at the participants list, I can't see his name here. So, dear devotees, while waiting for Prabhuji to join, I'll recite the opening Mangala Charan prayer. You can all join me behind muted mics. Thank you. Let's all put our hands together. Let's pray very sincerely to their lordships. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gora Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Thank you. So Prabhuji will be joining us shortly, I'm sure. I wonder if Jyoti Mataji, could you give Vrindavan Chandra Prabhuji a call, please? Just to...
I did, Mataji. He's joining.
Okay, thank you. So in the meantime, we can start reading the verses that Prabhuji will be discussing today. Okay, I've just seen Prabhuji's name. Prabhuji has joined. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhuji, I've just recited the opening Mangalacharan prayer. So we were just about to read the verses for discussion today, and then I saw your name in the participants list. So are you okay to carry on from here?
Yes, I am. I was out on Sankirtan, so I'm going to do the class from my car, from my phone. So hopefully it works. I actually forgot. Normally, Srimati Mataji, she reminds me, but it's fine. I'll go ahead. And
Okay.
today we're doing chapter 21, verses 21 to 28. Is it?
Today we are doing verses for discussion 21 to 28. That's correct.
And chapter 21.
Yes, chapter 23.
21 or 23? Okay, let me just...
Canto 3, chapter 23, verses for discussion 21 to 28. We're on chapter 23, Prabhuji.
Okay, all right. So just bear with me. I will quickly bring up chapter number 23.
Okay, thank you.
And text 21 to 20. Okay. All right. Vanchikalpa Tirubhyascha Kripasindhubhyascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. So we continue with our reading and discussion of chapter number 23, chapter entitled Devahuti's Lamentation. Correct?
Correct. Are you able to share the verses, or would you like Jyoti Mataji to share the verses on the screen?
Okay, let me see if I can do that. On my phone here. never done it from my phone before. Okay, if you can do Jyotirmati, please. That would be appreciated if you could do that.
Hare Krishna, Jyoti Mataji, thank you. Yes, we can see the verses on the screen now. If you could
Yes,
scroll to number 21, please, Mataji.
so the verse.
Thank you. Are you able to see the verses, Prabhuji?
I can see it on my phone. It's okay.
Thank you.
Vihara Sthana Vishrama Samvesha Prangana Jirahe Yatro Pajusam Vasite Vishma Panam Ivatmanaha. The castle at pleasure grounds, resting chambers, bedrooms, and inner and outer yards designed with an eye to comfort. All this caused astonishment to the sage himself. Purport. Srila Prabhupada. Kardamoni, being a saintly person, was living in a humble hermitage. But when he saw the palace constructed by his yogic powers, it was full of resting rooms, rooms for sex enjoyment, and inner and outer yards, he himself was astonished. That is the way of a God-gifted person. A devotee like Kardamoni accepted such opulence by his mystic power at the request of his wife. But when the opulence was produced, he himself could not understand how such manifestations could be possible. When a yogi's power is exhibited, the yogi himself is sometimes astonished. So we're reading on how Kardamuni had established or made this beautiful arrangement for the pleasure of Devahuti after he was pleased with the whole of festivities. What I find interesting here, when a wealthy or opulent person, an ordinary person, sees or reflects on his wealth and opulence, of all the qualities that manifest in their heart at that time, pride is probably one of the first ones that come to mind. But when one is pure-hearted, when one is a devotee of the Lord, one is not in this consciousness of I, me, and mine. One is on a totally different platform. So when Kardamuni was witnessing this extraordinary opulence that came about from his own cities, his own yogic powers, he didn't feel pride. But what did he feel? He felt astonishment. And it's very interesting actually to witness this, because this is the nature of a devotee or a great personality. They are not in this high consciousness. So he was thinking this, and he was thinking, how, like, almost, how did this happen? How did his manifestation come about? And Prabhupada says here in the concluding line, when a yogi's power is exhibited, the yogi himself is sometimes astonished. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks this amazing verse. He says about how the soul is so amazing, and the qualities of the soul so amazing, the things that the soul can do is so amazing. Because the soul is a tiny particle of Krishna. Same in quality, but difference in quality. Actually, if each of us knew the power and the potencies that we each have, we'll be astonished. In our current material conditioning, we are able to witness and see very few qualities of the soul. The soul has extraordinary potencies, with being a part and parcel of Krishna. But they all covered. If we only knew, we would be astonished. So interesting, Kardamoni is witnessing in this verse some of what he's able to do with his obesities. And he's like shocked. He's astonished. That is a symptom of his own spiritual advancement. And also, he's witnessing, the capabilities. When he saw Devahuti looking at the gigantic opulent palace with a displeased, Kardam Muni could understand the feelings because he could study the heart of anyone. Thus, he personally addressed his wife as follows. Purpose. Devahuti had spent a long time in the hermitage, not taking much care of her body. She was covered with dirt, and the clothing was not very nice. Kardam Muni was surprised that he could produce such a palace, and similarly his wife Devahuti was astonished. How could she live in that opulent palace? Kardam Muni could understand her astonishment, and thus spoke as follows. Again, very interesting verse. And this shows the qualities of Devahuti. Now we must remember that Devahuti is the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, one of the Manus. She came from a royal household. She lived from birth in palaces. She lived in extreme opulence. But she had so much absorbed the consciousness in the consciousness of austerity, in the mood of service to her husband. That was a consciousness. Like we would have thought that when Devahuti now was suddenly again confronted, coming from an opulent background, going to a very simple background, and now coming back to an opulent background, she would have been elated. She would have been like a fish back in water. But we see that she had become so spiritually advanced in the service of her husband that she didn't suddenly become elated. I'm now back where I belong. I am now back where I'm used to. Tapasya, austerities, purify the heart. The nature of the soul is simple. So Devahuti, someone may say, no, she had become conditioned to that type of life of not washing her hair, taking care of her body. Therefore, seeing opulence bewildered her. No, she had not become conditioned. he had become purified. Tapo Divyam, King Rishabdev was his son. Prabhupada once he made a statement, an easy and comfortable life and Krishna consciousness don't go well together. So, yeah, I'll say something maybe like so. Text number 23. So Karga Muni is now talking to Devahuti, noticing her astonishment. He speaks. Nimadyas yasimsmin vidhe bivu vimanam idam ayuha idam shukla kritam kritam asisam yapatham yam. Translation. My dear Devahuti, you look very much afraid. First bathe in Lake Vrindavan, created by Lord Vishnu himself, which can grant all the desires of the devotee, and then mount the elephant. Purport. It is a system to go to places of pilgrimage to bath in the water. In Vrindavan, the people take baths in the river Yamuna. In other places, such as Prayag, they take baths in the river Ganges. The words Tirtham, Hasisam, Yapakam refer to the fulfillment of desires, a bathing in a place of pilgrimage. Kardam Muni advised the good wife to bathe in Lake Bindu Sarovar so that she could revive the former beauty and luster of her body. God is talking about the potencies in the holy place. If you go to holy places, normally you'll see, any holy place, you'll either find a kund, a lake, or a river. Why? A holy place is where the holy people reside. And one of the qualities of a holy person is they are suchi, they are clean. Prabhupada says a brahmana takes bath 3 times. So these holy people normally they reside wherever there is a lake, some kund, or a river. Papa talks about the Yamuna, which flows past Vrindavan, and the Ganges flows past Prayag. So Kardamuni is advising his wife, Devahuti, who was unfed because of austerities, to now go and take a bath. And he said that this taking a bath in this lake, your former beauty will be revived in the luster of the body. That's number 24. Sathadhatu samadaya vacha kuvala yodhana sarajam hidvati vaso yeni bhutam sam murtajan. The lotus-eyed Devahuti accepted the order of his faith, and the locks of matted hair on her head even up the purple. It appears that Devahuti's hair had remained uncombed and it became complicated in tangles. In other words, she neglected her bodily dress and comforts to engage in the service of her husband. And the word I think they call is jata. When you get matted locks, when you don't wash your comb very often, it becomes like matted. If you see the yogis, they have matted hair. The Rastafarians, who practice some sort of austerity, they also become matted hair. So Devavati, he also had, because she was so absorbed in the service of her husband, she forgot completely her own body and the upkeep of her own body. It was a service. She was so absorbed in the service to her husband that she neglected her body. Text number 25. Angam chamala pankina sanchanam shavalastanam avivesha sharaspatyaha sara shiva jalas. Her body was coated with thick layer, and the breasts were discolored. She dove, however, into the lake, which contained the sacred water. Layers of death. It's number 26. Shanta Sarasi Vishnastaha Tathani Dasha Panyakaha Sarva Kishora So Dadhaso Palagandaya. In a house inside the lake, he saw 1,000 deaths, all in the prime of youth and great mental strength. Dhamrishva Saho Totaya Kochut Ran Jalaya Kriha Vayankana Studyam Yadina Haravana. Seeing her, the damsels suddenly rose and said before the king, "We are your maidservants. Tell us what we can do for you." While Devahuti was thinking of what to do in that great palace in a dirty clothes, they were at once by the yogic powers of Idamani 1,000 maidservants prepared to serve him. They appeared before Devahuti within the water and presented themselves as the maidservants, simply waiting for orders. So again, this is quite astonishing. But Kardamoni just didn't produce an opulent palace. He produced a palace with 1,000 maidservants. Now, how extraordinary is that? I have no clue what sort of cities that is. But one can infer that when Krishna is pleased with anyone, extraordinary miracles can happen. I was reading not so long ago a story how when Srila Prabhupada first went to New York City and established this temple in 26 Second Avenue. They were very poor. They didn't have much money. And they had rent to pay. They didn't even own the building. So it was end of the month. They had to pay the rent. And they had no money. And Shama Sundar Prabhu narrates the story how he walked down the road and suddenly from the sky, $100 bills were just floating and coming. $100 bills were just coming from the sky, and they didn't know where it was coming from. And they picked it up and they were happy they could pay the rent. But the point being that um, when Krishna wants to give one something, this is incredible. So it's quite extraordinary. Not only an opulent palace, but a palace with 1,000 maidservants. And Kardamoni, he was not giving a half-baked solution for Devahuti. Uh, he was manifesting extraordinary opulence because he was so pleased with her. He was so pleased. One other point I was making recently, I was reading of a very famous person. He was a very famous doctor. He narrates the story that his wife got Alzheimer's. And when she got Alzheimer's, his whole life revolved around her in service to her and taking care of her. And he writes about how this whole experience, although it was very difficult, felt extremely purifying and liberating to him as a person. He felt he connected more with himself through that service. The point I'm trying to make is that service is very purifying. And service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is ultimately supremely purifying. And Krishna becomes pleased. And when Krishna becomes pleased, the devotee can do extraordinary things. This is the final verse for today. It's number 28. And I'm just checking you all still with me. You can hear me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, we can hear you, but barely hear you. Would you be able to speak a bit louder, please?
Oh, you should have told me earlier.
No, it was okay to start with, but now it's you need to speak a bit louder now. Thank you.
Now it's better?
Oh, much better. Thank you.
Oh gosh, I should have done this. I went to the Bluetooth of my car, that's why. So I'm on speaker now. So you can hear me better.
Definitely. Thank you.
Okay. So we now text number 28. Snanena tamaha ena snapayitva manasvinam dukule nirmale nutne dadu asyai chaman nadaha. The girls, being very respectful to Devahuti, brought her forth, and after bathing her with valuable oils and ointments, they gave a fine, new, spotless cloth to cover her body. Sometimes you get a very valuable object that gets covered with dust and dirt, and its real qualities get covered over. But when it's cleaned and polished, then its true beauty becomes evident. So it seems like the same with Devahuti. These 1,000 maidservants bathed her with valuable oils and ointments, and they gave a fine, new, spotless cloth to cover a body. So one can just imagine the devotee was so beautiful that even the demigods on the aeroplane would see her, they would fall off the aeroplane. How extraordinarily beautiful she must have been. Now she's remanifesting that beauty. In one purport, Prabhupada speaks. He says that a devotee is never imported. And Prabhupada says, just like a tortoise, the tortoise can withdraw itself into its shell when it wants to. And then when it wants to manifest its senses, it brings it out of its shell again. So Prabhupada uses the example of tortoise. A devotee is same like that. Devotee can withdraw his senses, and when the devotee wants to exhibit his senses, he can do it. And the devotee is extraordinarily powerful by the grace of Krishna. So we can see that. We see that right now in this pastime of Vrindavan. You can still hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can.
Okay. All right. So I think this is the last verse in this particular section.
That's right, up to 28.
Okay. We'll stop here. Always remember Srila Krishnadas Kaviraja's words. Every word, every syllable in Srimad Bhagavatam is about Krishna. And let us always remember, when we say Krishna, we do not only mean the two-handed Shyamasundar form of the Lord. We mean his name, his form, his abode, his devotees, his paraphernalia. This is all comes at the definition of or understanding of what we mean by Krishna. So here we are reading about the activities of Krishna's parents when Krishna comes as Lord Kapila Dev. We're reading about the extraordinary activities and qualities of his parents, Vardamuni and Devotee. And the proof that it is transcendental, it's not mundane, is that we will feel purified. We will feel enthused by reading. I speak for myself. And just reading these verses and speaking about them this evening session, I feel enlivened. I feel purified, I feel enthused. That is a proof that everything in Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendent and is relishable. Thank you. I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Now, Divyanam Prabhu may start a meeting very soon, Sankirtan meeting, so we may get cut off. But let's see. Has anyone got any questions or comments? Because he may use my account. Any questions, comments, realizations, reflections, dear devotees? Okay, I'm sorry about the sound. I wish I knew earlier. I should have put it on to speakerphone. Thank you very much. All glories to your service. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam.
Kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the nice class. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the nice
Hare
class.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
What? About this.